I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I was experiencing some elbow forearm pain. I usually, when I have niggles or any injuries, I add Tiger Balm. Tiger Balm is very, very good for injuries. It's like a deep heat cream, and you just apply it and you'll just feel like the effects of like deep heat. However, this time I put it on before I went to bed. I woke up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. My arm itchy as fuck. I was thinking, why is my arm so itchy for? Woke up this morning, look at that. Look at my bloody fucking forearm where I've applied the cream. It's red raw. I've had some sort of allergic reaction to it. Butters, look at that. Look, it's all red. It's just, what's that about? Just like sitting there, just scratching it like a little nitty kid. If you do have allergic reaction to Tiger Balm, you're not the only one. I fucking had it as well. And I'm not gonna apply it again because it's really, really itchy and uncomfortable. I'm gonna moisturize it. However, I've been keeping on top of my moisturizing lately, hence why the skin might be looking a little bit clearer lately. I've been moisturizing twice a day. But that has just ruined it. Look at that, it's butters. Tiger Balm. I ain't using that again. I'll use like ice pack or something, or even deep, no, even not, I don't really want to use deep heat. Woke up with it itchy as fucking arm. I felt like I got nits or something, you know, when people have nits in school and that, you fucking scratch your head, you're like, oof. You see it crawl, it used to be in classroom, you see it crawl in the fucking scalp and you're like, oh, nitty kid.
He never asked me for any updated pictures. Every 3 weeks you can send me pictures, or if you want, you can send me all the time pictures. I have some clients that send me photos every day. Yay for me, every day.
So I've just been watching the Greg DOUCETTE video on why Brandon left him as a coach. I can see Greg's side of the thing. Like, if someone isn't going to follow the plan, like I don't know, I think Brandon right now is in a position where he might be a little bit impatient, like he wants to get to the goal as quickly as he possibly can. I can get that. Doing the 1RMs, doing the stuff like that. As a content creator myself, you need to keep your audience engaged. And sometimes you have to do stuff off your plan. Like when AJ tells me, for example, don't do a 1RM. Like previously, a couple of weeks ago, I did a few 1RMs just to kind of test where I'm at. Has AJ told me to do that? Nope. Should I be doing that? Probably not. Same again with having like meals off plan or cheat days or full day of eating whilst dirty bulking or something like that. Has AJ told me to do that? Absolutely not. However, do I need to keep my audience engaged? Do I need to still kind of, you know, put out content for you to watch? Yes. So you sometimes have to do stuff just to keep your audience engaged. And if I did the same old shit every single day, no one would watch. Hence why my channel or my views are nowhere near as what they were when I was on contest prep, because I was literally doing the same. Like in a bulking phase, it gets boring, it gets repetitive, it's the same old stuff. And nobody wants to see that type of stuff. When it's a contest prep, it's different. Like you're seeing visual changes every couple of weeks. You have that end goal. But right now, I don't have that end goal. Like I don't know when I'll be next competing on stage or anything like that. I can see like why Greg is frustrated and, you know, how Brandon always wanted a change and stuff like that. I don't understand that part of it, because unfortunately, change doesn't occur every single week. Like I have that with my own clients. Clients expect changes every single week, and I tell them why. If it's not broken, why change something? Like, why does there need to be a new diet or a new setup or something new it doesn't need to be like that.
You like manipulated the whole situation. I wasn't like in the right state of mind to pick up the camera and talk about things, because I was quite like enraged a little bit, or not really in the right state of mind to like get my thoughts together, get my facts straight. And the video that he made about me saying Brandon made the worst mistake ever. I'm not being funny, but leaving Greg was the best thing that I could have ever done. I'm so sorry that like right now I'm getting quite heated and speaking of.
So after listening to both Brandon's side of things and Greg's side of things, I'm split in between the middle, because I can see both sides. I can see why Greg reacted the way he has, why Brandon's kind of reacted the way he has due to the plan and stuff like that. Overall, I think, of course, you're getting coached for free. So when it comes to being coached for free, unfortunately, you're not gonna probably get the service compared to, you know, someone who's paying 5 grand or 100 quid a month or whatever it may be. That's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. The more you pay for a service, the better quality it should be. Like if I was starting to charge, let's say £250 for my coaching on a monthly basis, my clients would expect, what am I getting for this extra, you know, amount? And you should be providing, you know, more of a service if you are charging more. Simple as that. When coaching is free, you just have to accept that you're not going to probably get the service, well, as good as a quality compared to other people that are paying, because at the end of the day, you have to make money. It's a business, of course. However, you know, I can see that sometimes it just doesn't work. Like the way I coach individuals might not work for you. Like some people don't like you have to do this, the kind of aggressiveness that I sometimes come across in my videos. Some people like the no bullshit approach. Some people like the beat around the bush sort of approach, where they kind of tiptoe, oh, don't worry mate, it's okay, like you can miss this training session today. Some people like the, you fucking missed this training session today, you better make up for it to tomorrow, or you've overate today, you must do this tomorrow. Some people, it's very individual based, and I think Brandon just didn't like the way Greg done his coaching. Didn't like the way that, you know, some of my clients check up on me on a daily, like they message me every day. Some clients, I speak to them just when they check in. Everyone is very different, and I think some people like that, some people don't like that. Simple as that, and it just didn't work. I'm not sure Brandon was kind of expecting more maybe from the coaching side of things, but then again, you know, it's free. Like, what do you expect with free coaching? If someone was offering free coaching, I wouldn't expect it to be great. Not gonna lie to you. However, saying that, if Greg promised this, promised that, and didn't give it, then that's a little bit disrespectful on Brandon's side of things. So it's very difficult, of course. That's why I'm split in the middle between the two. In all honesty, I think Brandon will be better off with Cal the way he is now, and the reason why I think that, I just believe Cal is gonna invest a little bit more time into maybe the drug side of things, maybe checking up on him a little bit more, and that works for Brandon. Brandon likes that style of coaching, which is important to remember. And I think Cal, like for example, does the check-in videos. People love, like when I do my check-in videos and send like a 10-minute video to a client, they absolutely love it. They love watching their feedback. It motivates them to keep going. But unfortunately, you know, if you don't receive like a, let's say a 4-letter fucking feedback with an email, some people really don't like that. So I think Cal is going to be better in terms of what Brandon's demands are, maybe checking up on him, speaking on the phone every single day, that type of thing. Different coaches provide different services, and it works for some people and it doesn't work for some people. Simple as that. The amount of people that have came to me and it's just they haven't liked what I've provided because it's not for them. That's fine. But there are other individuals that absolutely love what I provide them and they can't wait to start. They're buzzing. They love the feedback each week. So, you know, it's split. I'm split in the middle there. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments down below. But yeah, I don't think it should have got to this extreme. I think they just should have ended on just like basic terms instead of kind of now like Brandon kind of giving Greg shit, Greg giving Brandon shit sort of thing. It is what it is. Let us know in the comments down below your thoughts as always. Does Max want to go for a... Does Max want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk, boy? Do you want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk to the field where you can bark and attack the dogs? Go for a walk. You want to go for a walk? Yeah, good boy. Come on, you little fucker. Come on. There he is, the goat. Just out with the little guy. He isn't quite Milo, like he's not a husky or a staff, so when you take him for a walk, you haven't got to take him for, you know, a big 1 hour walk. You take him for a little walk around the block, he's fucking fried after that. I said a couple of weeks ago how I was struggling to get my steps down. Like I was doing about 10, 15,000 steps a day plus. I was sometimes doing like 17, 18,000 a day. Don't get me wrong, it's okay. I definitely believe it was hindering my performance in the gym. I could just feel going in some of those sessions like I've already done like 10,000 steps and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I had to go and train legs and it just felt fucking dreadful. And that relates back to the question, can steps affect your progress? Can it, you know, prevent you getting the gains that you want to get in the gym? And I definitely think so. I really do think so. I think if you're doing too much, it's going to impact you. Of course, recovery demands are going to be higher compared to, let's say if you're doing 2,000 steps a day compared to 10,000 steps, your maintenance for that 10,000 steps is going to be higher compared to someone who's doing that 2,000. So of course, there's going to be more food needed. Recovery is going to be way harder is what I'm trying to say, compared to someone that isn't doing as much. And I'm not saying you don't have to do anything at all, because I do believe going for walks and getting out and getting some sunlight in the morning is beneficial, but sometimes too much is going to be detrimental. If you can, because I know it's really hard, because there's a lot of people that jobs require them to be on their feet all day and they can't, you know, they can't sit down. So when you have the opportunity to do so, I would definitely recommend getting your ass down, not doing anything, and just recover. Like, steps isn't the goal when it comes to building muscle. Progressing in the gym, eating progressively is what's going to build you muscle. If you are doing 20,000 steps a day and you have the option to decrease it, my friends. Got this really nice family photo on the wall, all just like little bits of the family here. There's me when I was younger. Let me see if that will focus. There we are, boom. I've always had a really bad hairline. I think they call that a cowlick. Terrible. Believe it or not, that's my twin sister. I've got a twin. We don't look like each other. I don't know, do we? Do we look like each other there? I'm not really sure. There's me when I used to play football as well at a fairly decent level. I think that was my school team actually, believe it or not. That was a good photo of me there. There's of course the photo which I'm going to put up on my wall of me competing last year. It's one of my favourite photos for sure. There's Max. We've got Max on the bloody thing as well. There he is when he was a puppy. And there he is as well, the little fucker. Yeah, you. There you are. You're alright, boy. You little bastard.
Chasing that bag, I'm right behind her. I can't express myself, don't know.
So I got some really good feedback from my previous video regarding how I lay out my sessions and what it's looking like and my thought process and why I'm doing this in this particular fashion. So I'm going to break down my leg session today, which I did. So luckily it's fresh in my mind. I've got my logbook in front of me and I can give you an insight regarding this leg session. And if you can take anything from this video or this part of the video, then brilliant. I'm definitely doing my job right. So I always start off with a lying leg curl variation or a standing leg curl variation. We look at the profile of a lying leg curl or standing leg curl. The first portion of the movement is very easy to do, like a pull down. Like you can do a pull down like that. It's getting it short, which is really hard. Now I always recommend, and I've said this loads and loads of times before, if you are going to do a lying leg curl variation, always program that first, because you're going to get the most out of it whilst it's being programmed first. If you're doing it last, you're going to really struggle to load it, and you're really going to struggle to get that short because you're fatigued from, you know, doing other exercises or whatever you've done within that session. So I did 3 sets. I did 2 heavy sets of 8 to 10, and then I did a back off set of 25 reps. And trust me, if you've ever done 25 reps on a lying leg curl, you will feel that in your hamstrings, I promise you. Always program your lying leg curls first if you are, or earlier in the session, so you can get the most out of that particular movement. I then moved on to the deadlift, the king. The deadlift is just the king for back, for leg density, posterior chain in general. Amazing. At full body, it's a full body movement. Right now I've got that programmed in my lower body sessions. I'm sort of doing like a leg pull session here in regards to programming the deadlift in that. I don't know why I like the deadlift. I can focus directing on my back session. I can directly target my back, whereas when I'm doing the deadlifts, I can really focus on just doing that in my leg sessions, as I use so much lower body. A lot of people forget to engage their hamstrings or engage the lower body in a deadlift, so I would really recommend doing that. I've been able to add in this off season so far 40 kilos to my deadlift, so I'm doing a 170 for a triple, and I did a back off 150 for a set of 8. Could have controlled the eccentrics a little more on my back off set, but I just didn't really care on that particular day. I was so focused on just getting that fucking weight up. I've always said you have to control the eccentrics on a deadlift if you want to get the most out of it from a hypertrophy standpoint. It's getting good at a deadlift, but can you control the eccentric phase, the phase which is going to break down muscle tissue? This is where you're going to grow. So if you are deadlifting, please try and focus on controlling the eccentrics as best as you possibly can. Then moved on to the pendulum squat, the Atlantis pendulum squat. I'm so used to doing the Watson recently that it was so good to get back onto the Atlantis one. I did 90 for a set of 8, and I did 70 for a set of 17. Now, regarding the pendulum squat, what you really want to focus on is, I typically go for more of a quad focused on this movement. So you really want to get as much knee flexion as you possibly can. So if I demonstrate, this is knee extension, this is knee flexion. You want to create that as best as you possibly can. Now, the best way to create knee flexion is having your feet low. So if you're doing a V squat, if you're doing a leg press, if you're doing a pendulum squat, you want your feet as low as you possibly can on the platform without your heels coming off. If your heels coming off, your ankle mobility, or you're just too low on the platform. So find what your setup works best for you, but generally the lower you go, the more knee flexion you're going to be able to get. The higher and wider you go, the less obviously knee flexion you're going to get, the more hamstrings and glutes that you're going to work. So I really make sure that my feet were as low as they possibly can, burying each rep and focusing on driving through my heels, which is going to engage my quads way more. So if you are using a pendulum, use something like that. I got 90 for a set of 8, which I've never ever done before. The best I've ever done is like 75 for a set of 3 on that. I couldn't even do 80 kilos on prep, so now I'm doing 90 for a set of 8. My goal was to really hunt down 5 plates on that Atlantis pendulum squat, which is quite impressive for me, to be fair, in all honesty. I then moved on to the Atlantis single leg press. My legs were absolutely fucked. My leg was even shaking. You'll probably see the clip. I posted it on Instagram as well, made some funny kind of memes out of it regarding just when your missus is wanking you off, or when you've lasted 15 seconds in the bedroom, your leg starts going because you're about to produce your semen. Semen, fucking hell, George. So the single leg press is a great variation on just, especially you footballers out there, or anyone who's got imbalances, single leg or unilateral movements are so beneficial. So I did 3 sets on here, really focusing on, again, as getting as much knee flexion as I can, really trying to isolate the quads. Very good variation if you're doing like a lunge or Smith machine, squat, split squats or anything like that, Bulgarian split squats. Really another good variation to throw in there. And my legs were fucked after this. I had to take like so much rest between the sets because I was just burying myself, but it was worth it. It was one of those feelings which I absolutely loved. I then moved on to single leg extension, single leg curl, same thought process there again. Keep my hips tucked, keep my hips in locked position. I see so many people throw their hips off when doing a leg extension, leg curl. You really want to keep those hips back. If you have a belt, even better. Some people actually get like the lifting bolts and they actually wrap it around themselves and the seat behind them, so they're actually locked in. My belt is too short for that, so I can't do that. So I just really focusing on actually isolating that area, getting a good contraction, getting a good pump. I don't bother about progressive overload too much on those particular movements because, let's be honest, if you're exerting more energy in your compounds, your isolation work might compensate and you might regress or you might maintain. But as long as you're chasing the pump, feeling good from doing that, then absolutely brilliant. Then finished off with like abductors and abductors to finish. I do like a rest pause on some of these. I might do an adductor, I might do 3 straight sets, depending on how I feel generally. But those are good. I've always said if you want to complete a lower body, then you have to include both of those, I think, especially the adductor, so you don't want no thigh gap between your legs. I think that works really well. And then I finished off with a seated calf raise. I think calves are very genetic. Like my calves haven't really grown much since I'm playing football. I think I built them whilst I did play football. But overall, you know, good session. Did 3 sets of the calves to finish. Basic stuff. I do that, you know, twice, 3 times a week with the calves. And they seem to be responding okay. I do try and progress them over time. Sometimes I don't progress them, but it kind of just is what it is at the end of the day. I hope that can kind of give you some insight regarding my leg training right now. Any questions, any issues? Let me know down below. That is today's video, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you're a new subscriber around here, because I've gained about 70 subscribers over the last couple of days. If you're new, hi, my name's George. Watch my videos. I'd appreciate if you watch any of my videos. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the support as always, and yeah, anything you want to see down below, thoughts on the old situation between Greg and Brandon, I'd love to hear about that and get your thoughts about it, because I watch them, I'm big fans of them too, so it's like, ooh, it just gets you kind of, ooh. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.